Good morning, good evening, and welcome to this week's live chat. Every week we are having we are having a series where at the moment every week I'm discussing something that I've learnt over the years of live streaming that has helped me to live stream better. So this week I wanted to discuss consistency and what that actually looks like in reality and juggling life and all of the other things that we have going around us. What does consistency actually look like? So I want to say good morning to Amazing Yacht Destinations. Thank you for jumping in nice and early and letting me know you are here. It's great to see you. I know that you've been getting up early, or maybe not so much getting up early, but you're up early in Thailand and catching these streams as a kickstart to your week. And I really appreciate that you jump in regularly and I get to recognize your name and chat with you and others that I know. If you're here watching the stream, jump in, say hi. If you've got a question, drop it in. I'm trying to keep it a little bit relevant to YouTube live streaming, but if you have a YouTube general question, if I know it, I will try and help you. I may not be able to help you, but I will certainly try. Good morning, Luigi, or good evening, Luigi. I always forget that while it's 9 o'clock Monday morning for me, it's not the same time for you. So we're a virtual group. We're an international group. We have people from all over the place here. Good morning, Michael. It's so good to see you. I missed you in Doug's stream this week. Yeah, I was saying to Doug afterwards, I'm like, did I miss Michael, or was he not there? Like, he was not there, right? So yeah, it was really a different week for streaming this week. So some of you know I've been having a few problems with StreamYard and the system that I'm running and the browsers that I'm running, and so we're testing out some stuff and we're trialing some new things. So fingers crossed it all works today. I'm gone back to the original plan of Mac Sonoma, StreamYard, and Chrome. So cross your fingers, everybody, that this works and doesn't boot me out. We don't like booting out. Dimmy, it's so great to see you. Oh, it's midnight. Oh, my goodness. Well, thanks for jumping in. And I am, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. If we want to catch these streams, that sometimes we've got to be up at unusual times. I work with some creators that work on US time zones, and it it could be quite interesting. This week, I struggled to get to sleep on Saturday night. I was so tired after the streams. I actually struggled to get to sleep a little bit, and then I was woken up 3 hours later. So I was up and about. Doug's stream starts at 11 p.m. my time. Nick starts at midnight. Then the D and Daniel StreamYard stream started at 3 a.m. And yeah, it was tough for me. Yesterday was a hard day, and I actually usually I try to schedule my streams on my Saturday, and I didn't. I got sidetracked and was doing other things and didn't get it done. And then yesterday, on my 3 hours of sleep, my brain was not my friend. Like, let me know in the chat, how well do you cope with tricky situations or interesting things that are just outside the usual sort of scope of your day if you've only had 3 hours of sleep? So I was like, okay, I'm going to have a little nap this afternoon. I'll feel better. And then I got to the afternoon, I was like awake. So I was like, I'm not going to have a nap now. That was a dumb decision. Last night, I still couldn't get to sleep. I tossed and turned till midnight again. So it was ridiculous. Anyway, the point of my story, I actually have a point. I know, bizarre. The point of my story is it's really easy to go, you know what? I don't want to stream today. I'm too tired. Whatever the reason, I'm too busy. Things are happening. I don't want to stream today. And I sat down and I had a look because this was all happening last night in my brain. And I sat down and I had a little conversation with myself. And I said, Chantelle, what kind of person are you when you are wanting to help people, except you're not willing to step out to do it? You'll only help people when it's convenient. And I'm not that person. I don't just help people when it's convenient. I like to help people at midnight or at 3 in the morning or whatever. I like to be helpful. So I realized I needed to remain consistent for you who will make the effort to be here. I know I would have gotten messages. If I hadn't have streamed today, there would have been some messages like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, just tired. Like, that's not a good enough reason. If I'm sick, sure. If I've got family stuff on, sure. There's levels of what is acceptable in my brain. Now, as you are your own person and you're the boss of you, you get to decide when it's okay. What works for you? What is your line? And you have to decide for yourself. I can't give you hard and fast rules because my brain works a little bit different than most people's. So I do what works for me, but you're going to need to work out what works for you. And by working that out, you might have to do a bit of trial and error. Hey, Create a Classroom, great to see you in here. Florida Manufacturer says, haven't done a 3 hours sleep in a long time. Yeah, I don't think I have either, honestly. I usually get like a 4 to 5 hour on the Saturday night. 3 hours is just that little bit too short. It's too short. Yeah, caffeine is my friend as well. Hello, survival juice. I have some now. Oh, I'll totally let Doug know. You know what? We don't look at it as a bad thing. We just noticed it. We're like, oh, I wonder what he's doing. Amazing Yacht Destination says, I'm grumpy if I don't get enough sleep. I need my sleep. You know what? I'm going to be really honest. Me too. And my family kind of cop it a little bit. Like, so if I'm a bit tired, you'll hear this discussion like, don't annoy mum. She's mum. What they call me? Mummy monster mode. It's mummy monster mode. My daughter's 18. She doesn't call me mummy at all, ever. But mummy monster mode is a thing, apparently. So, yeah, they were amazing, though. They're absolutely amazing. Self-talk is important. Absolutely. So you need to have these self-talk discussions with yourself. Write lists. Write down pros and cons lists. A lot of these things you are going to need to work out for yourself. I can't give you a plan. I can give you some guidelines. I can give you some suggestions. I can tell you the things that work for me or don't work for me. I cannot give you the hard and fast, this is the rules, because there's no such thing. Live streaming consultants, great to see you. Thank you for jumping in. I needed to change as I would just help people all the time and it took its toll, burned me out. I'm struggling with creating the balance right now. Yeah. And there is that, isn't there? There's the balance of always putting someone else before you and your needs, and not just your physical needs, but mental needs as well. And again, that's another balancing act that you need to work out for yourself. For me, I have to help people. I feel burnt out and I get sad when I'm not helping people. So, you know, for me, it's part of what I need. I need that to fill my cup, is I love helping people. But it would be nice to find some stuff I can do that's, you know, not at 3 o'clock in the morning. That'd be great. That'd be really cool. Okay. So, Rebel Canners is in the house. Hello, Rebel Canners. Great to see you. Thank you for jumping in. So what I wanted to talk about the consistency is, while the thumbnail definitely had a clock, right? So were you all thinking consistency as in same bat time, same bat station, as in whatever the amount of time is between your streams, you will stream at this set time and day every week? That is one form of consistency for sure. There is another form of consistency, which is consistent messaging. So you've got your regular time zone. You've worked that out. You're like, cool. Yep. For me, Monday, 9 a.m. my time. Awesome. I got that every week. But what if next week I jump in and started, like, instead of talking about the different things that could help with live streaming, what if I just jump in with Stardew Valley and I'm playing a game and I'm chatting about the game and I in no way converse about live streaming at all. I just talk about the game. Or if I decide to take you live streaming while I go grocery shopping. Or if I live stream gardening, like anything like that. So, you know, what happens if you do any of those things? It's at the same time. Do you think your audience will be like chill with that? Like, for the most part, I'm sure there's some audiences that wouldn't care. But do you think as your channel is growing, do you think that your audience will chill? Or do you think they'll be like, hang on a second, like, what are we learning here? What are we doing? Like, yeah, it is. It's weird. I think everybody else can hear, honestly, Luigi and Legal Minded Karen. I think it's a refresh. I think you might need a refresh. But oh, you're okay. You're okay. So that's good. So it is. It's whilst there are times where I'm like, oh man, I could live stream doing this other stuff. I could live stream doing this other thing, for sure. Yeah, let's do that. You need to think about your audience, and are you sending a consistent message? Not just a consistent time zone, a consistent message. Now, this time of the year is always hard for people because a lot of people, not all people, but a lot of people have got a lot of things going on. A lot more social engagement happening, like actually real life, leaving the house, going and doing things, meeting up with family, friends, whatever. Their work is doing some crazy stuff. There's lots of different things that are happening that can really shake up how much time you have available to you. But being clear in your messaging. So one thing I'll say is this is my last live stream for a couple of weeks. So I've got family coming for Christmas. If you could see the rest of my house, it is nowhere near as tidy as in here. And I need to finish pulling everything apart and making space for 30 people. Well, actually, I don't have 30 this year. I've got 20 people for Christmas lunch. So we have a small house. So I actually have to gut the middle of my house, remove all the stuff out of my lounge room. And that's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. So I need some time. And to make that time, I'm going to be needing these hours. So rather than give you some half-hearted live streaming, I'm going to have a couple of weeks off, just two, and go from there. So, it's going to be one of those things, but I'm making that messaging clear. I'll be posting that in community tab. I'll be making sure that everybody is aware, but that's not just I don't feel like it. Like last night, I really was like, should I live stream tomorrow? I mean, I don't really feel up to it. Will I have the energy? Will I have, the desire to be actually helpful? Or am I going to be a grizzly grump? I don't know. Am I going to get a good night's sleep tonight? Who knows? Wake up this morning really early after not getting to. So I got 6 hours sleep last night, which is double the night before. So win. And this morning I'm like, oh, man, should I? And then I realized something for me and how I feel. Helping people helps me. So once I got up and got moving, got coffee is what it really was. Once I got coffee, I was able just to sort of go, okay, no, shake it off. All right, let's jump in. Let's jump in and help some people. So do you have any questions? Throw them in the chat. If you've got any questions in relation to live streaming or YouTube, throw them in the chat. I'm here to help. And if you've got any more questions about consistency, whether it's consistency of messaging versus consistency of time, let me know that as well. So the consistency message today was more for me. It was a selfish stream. The consistency to remind myself that it is important to not only be consistent with time, but also consistent with messaging. You need to do both. So it's not like a one or the other. For me, it's like if I was watching a creator, and this is how I quite often think about things. If I'm watching a creator and that creator predominantly talks YouTube help or live streaming, and then all of a sudden I'm off on a shopping adventure while they buy Christmas decorations or something like that, so it's something totally left field for their channel. I'd be like, am I here for this? And now I need to make a decision. Am I watching this creator or this channel? Am I watching this creator or this channel for them or for what they give? And sometimes it's for what they give, it's for what they put out, and sometimes it's a personality thing. So it can work. But if you are building your channel, like this channel here, I'm building this channel. On my other channel, I can be a little more relaxed. On this channel, I need to have my consistent messaging so YouTube understands who my desired audience is, who are the people that I can help, that I want to help. and who are the people that want help from me. So, we'll go for it from there. Home Rapid Repair, great to see you in the chat. I brought StreamYard Pro for the annual price. I didn't want to learn complicated software. I wanted to focus on the topics. That is precisely the reason precisely a perfect reason for StreamYard. The other reason that I love for StreamYard, and the reason why I joined StreamYard many years ago, I think I went through my invoicing and worked out that I jumped over from the free plan to the pro in at about 2018, 2019, something like that. It was pretty new on. I wanted guests, and the guest feature for StreamYard, it just makes life so easy, honestly. But I love their pillars of content at StreamYard, and one of them is ease of use. And so that, sure, they could dump in a whole pile more features, but would it be as easy to use? Probs not. Probs not. Oops, that's loud. Amazing yacht. I don't know why my brain goes Amazon yacht destinations. No, amazing yacht destinations. I'm happy that you're making time for family and friends. You need to take the time. I do know you'll still be working hard. Oh, I will be. And I do plan on releasing some pre-record content, just not live streams, just for a couple of weeks. So yeah. Luigi says, I use StreamYard for the free. For the paid, my parents will say no, I use the free only. That's great. And StreamYard really offers a lot in their free package so that you get to utilize all the functions and features, or the minimum, or not all of them. You get to use a lot of functions and features for free with StreamYard. There's not a lot of limitations. Like when you use like a free Zoom account, you're limited to 40 minutes, which I find exceptionally frustrating. There's just about nothing I can do in 40 minutes, honestly. I can't teach a tutorial in 40 minutes. I can't run through a great topic in 40 minutes. I need my hour. I need it, because otherwise I'll be looking at the clock the whole time, freaking out. If I'm like, okay, I've got an hour, my brain goes, okay, cool, we've got plenty of time. If I'm like, we've got 40 minutes, my brain's like, 40 minutes. So it's like I said, my brain does some weird things. But with StreamYard's free version, it's totally worth trying out. Now, I do have a link in the description. If you haven't tried StreamYard before, jump on, give it a try, see if it's your jam. And it may not be. It might not be for you. It might not do what you want it to do. It doesn't do everything. And that is the advantage of being so many different streaming softwares. Most of them do have a free version you can at least trial. You can work out what's going to work for your workflow, for your equipment that you have, for the style of streaming that you want to do. For me, if you're a gamer, I probably wouldn't use StreamYard. Like my personal feeling is, if I was gaming, I'm on OBS, because I want a bit more, flexibility and where I can put images and how they look. Anyway, that's a personal thing, and you get to trial and test things all for yourself. You get to decide the look and feel of your live streams. So you want to have like a nice consistent look. For me, I've got my, me in my chair with my crap behind me and my pretty lights. That's pretty much my consistent look. I'm obsessed with lights. So there's probably, wherever I can, even when I travel, I've got some little battery operated color lights I take with me so I can have some color. So it's a thing for me. So I'm going to have that kind of consistent look across my streams. And you don't have to do that, but that's something that makes me feel easier about going live regularly. It's like, I know that it's going to have this set up. It's going to be great. Okay. Chantelle, if you were financially where you could stream every day on this channel, would you, to help others? Absolutely. If I didn't have to do any other work, if I was able to just sit here and stream and answer questions every single day, I would, in a heartbeat. But unfortunately, I do have electricity bills to pay and internet bills to pay, and, saving for equipment that crashes and burns, and like replacement when things happen. Unfortunately, in where I am, I need to generate some income, and right now this channel doesn't actually do that just yet. Not as its standalone, but as part of my broader business, it does. Does that make any sense? But absolutely, I would totally stream every day. I love live streaming. I would probably, like, my brain's just gone on a little tangent. If I was to stream every day, I would probably do something like maybe each day have a different theme for the stream. So I would probably do like a business-based theme. I would do like a talking head theme like this one. I'd probably do a gaming theme where I dig more into OBS or some of the other platforms that are better for gaming. I would broaden it out. But that's what I would do if, if I didn't have to worry about finances. So, or the fact that my family have to live in the house as well, and I can't actually stream every single day because they have to be quiet while I'm streaming. There's no one here right now, which is great, but doesn't happen often. StreamYard's biggest downside is the no browser source. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. The no alpha layers. For me, it's the no alpha layers. So not being able to bring in anything like that. That's one of the things I see. And this is where, sorry, StreamYard, love you guys so much. I really, really do. I really love StreamYard. But I'm running a Mac. So quite often, if I need to do anything more than what I'm doing right now, I will actually run Ecamm and then bring Ecamm in so that I can have my alpha layers, my browser sources and all that other stuff. But you don't necessarily need it. Oh, hang on a second. I've got to use my be right back. I love that be right back screen. Very important yarn order arrived. Thank you, couriers, for banging on the door, setting off the dog. Okay, let me jump back over here to the comments. Yeah, so with StreamYard's not having browser sources or alpha layers, yeah, I did. I had someone at the door, so I had to go and I had to run out and stop the dog from barking, grab my delivery, and come back in. So I'm a bit puffed. I'm like, I probably could have walked, but I didn't. I ran. Okay. Using Ecamm or OBS and bringing them into StreamYard as virtual, and at the moment is the only way to do that. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. So if I really want to stream with StreamYard, that's what I do. So on my other channel, I have a lot of camera switching. I have got multiple cameras at the same time. I've got image overlays. I've got audio overlays. I've got all sorts of things happening. So I do all that through Ecamm and then bring it into StreamYard that way. It was not Amazon, but it was more yarn. Yeah. Legal Minded says, I watch for the person. I'm not likely to watch if the creators who are obsessed about one subject. I want different topics, opinions, and their stories. I thought that was why it called YouTube You. That is technically correct. That is correct. And you can do that. And I do that a lot more over my other channel where I already have a consistent audience, where I already have people who actually, like, this is going to sound really harsh, okay? You ready? Got my harsh hat on. Most people don't actually give a crap about you as the individual. They just don't. They don't care. They don't know you. They don't care about you. They don't know who you are. How can they care about you? Because you are a total non-entity in there. You don't exist to them yet. So once you have had people come back to your channel consistently and they're actually starting to interact with you, or they're starting to be a regular, what's the word? My brain won't give me the word. It's thinking about the yarn in this bag. Where they come back regularly every week and you have that consistency with them, then they start to build a connection and rapport with you. Then you can start to go a little broader. You can go a little more, tangenty. Now, for me personally, I'm the kind of person that can't help but being a little bit tangenty. And I've already got another channel. And so I'm building this channel a little differently than how I built that channel. So you have to think about what is your YouTube goal. So for me, I never have massive subscriber goals. Okay, I'm not that I want a silver play button person. That's not me. It's never been me. My goal for my other channel um, is 10,000 subscribers. That's it. It's not 100,000. It's not a million, and it's the same here. I would love to hit 1,000 first as a goal here, and then after that, I would love 10,000. I have this for me. 10,000 is the goal because that's usually the last point where YouTube limit your action. Where YouTube limit your what's the word I'm looking for? You can't get access, limit your access. Access is the word I'm looking for. They limit your access to some of the tools. And so at about 10,000, that's where those stop. So for me, that goal is more about stop YouTube from stopping me playing with all the toys. It's not about, I need a bigger audience. For me, you guys are amazing. You come back every week and it's fantastic. I don't need a bigger audience. I need people that actually care. And you can have 1 million, you can have 1.5 million people and then live stream and have 50 people show up. Like, does it matter if you have a bigger audience? No, it doesn't, because they're not there for the live. Live streaming can, most do not care about you until they know how much you care about them. That is 100% true. Absolutely. Because it's supposed to be a connection, and connections are reciprocal. It's not just a one-way street. It's not all about you guys being here to support me. It's about me being here to support you so you guys come here. Like it's a two-way street. It's like how we all feel about Nick. We care about him as a human and love the extra banter with Dee. Someone you might be like, yeah, absolutely. And I've seen it in the chat every now and like, what is going on? And it's obvious they've not been here before. And you're like, oh, it's cool. They're just brothers being brothers. So, it's all good. It's all good. If you don't watch for the creators, how could you enjoy their content? Okay, that's a really fair question. So sometimes you're looking for a particular answer. I'm not in the middle of my screen. It's really bugging me. I just got to move over. So when you if you don't watch for the creators, how could you enjoy the content? If you are looking for a particular answer, like I wanted to replace the runners on the bottom of my sliding screen door. So I went hunting. Thank you, YouTube, for a great tutorial. Go and fix the door. End of. I've never watched that channel for anything else ever again. As a matter of fact, I don't believe they actually even had any other content up on that channel. If I want to learn how to reset the 0 on my printer because it won't let me print in black and white because it's out of a color, Google. There it is, YouTube video. Hold this button, hold that one. Cool, that worked. Awesome. Don't watch any of their content. So it can come down to looking for a particular solve. Now, if I went to a particular channel, I wanted to learn, I was like, I'm stuck on something Mac. Mac is not my natural playground. I'm a Windows girl. I worked for a computer company for years. I worked in IT for years. I like Windows. I like being able to pull things apart and put them back together really easily. Mac is not that. Mac is not that. So, I had to do, and because of how this person was, I was like, I think I might watch another one of their videos. And so you can build that rapport based on how you speak and how you talk to the audience and how you interact and how you present the initial video. If your video is really like, okay, and then you do this, let's click here. Let's just do this thing. Okay, cool. You're done. Awesome. Bye now. Whereas you're like, oh, okay, first of all, you need to click on this, but don't click on that because if you do this, it's going to explode the planet, and make it a bit more fun. For me, that's what I need. And every viewer is different. I'm sure that each one of you watching has a different thing that they like or don't like about different creators and how they actually deliver their content. It's personal preference. So you can look into that way. Travel around. Susie, great to see you. So happy to see you live streaming again. Can you explain what some of the techie stuff you were just talking about, like the eCam or the overlay? I think it was called, I'm really new to this language. Oh, okay. All right. So eCam is another live streaming platform. It's for Mac only. You can't use it on Windows computers at all or or any devices. It is literally Mac computers. And it's really great for building multiple layers. So see how over here I've got the creator mix thing on the left hand. Nope, up this side, over there. There it is. The creator mix thing is here. In Ecamm, it's really easy to move those in and out and actually stack different ones on top of each other. So I can actually stack that on top of the Be Right Back screen without having to build it that way and then upload it to StreamYard. StreamYard allow you to have one overlay, non-moving, and so they put limits in place, which is totally fine. But if you do want more of that, or if you need more of that, then you need to go in and look for alternate software options. Oh, you don't hear the music? Let me know if that's a bit better. So yeah, I do try to keep it there, but I also don't want it so loud that it's too bothersome. Yeah, okay. Actually, the music's been playing the whole stream, so that's weird. Anyway, bizarre. Okay. Let's have a look here. I love what Nick published yesterday. It took the message as if you help one person, it's worth it. Yeah, that's how I feel as well. If I do these streams, right, and I get one single person who sends me some sort of message or even doesn't, but in my brain I go instantly, cool, that I'm definitely helping people. I'm helping people. But if I get a message, if I get a comment, if I get something that tells me, hey, this thing really helped me, I'm floating on air all day. My husband will be like, what's going on? I'm like, I got this message, look. And he's like, okay, cool. I'm like, no, you don't get it. It's my goal. These messages are my goal. So yeah, it's definitely one of those things. I come back to you for your stories and experiences. Like I just loved that you said your family is coming, house is a mess, all related to not streaming, every minute, perfect. This is the thing. And as a streamer, as a creator, as a small business owner, as a human person surviving in this world, I got crap going on you can't see. Just like all of us do. We all have stuff going on that is not out on the internet, that is not being live streamed or captured for content. Even daily vloggers who vlog their family, they curate and frame those vlogs. You don't get every single second of what's going on in their lives. And that's okay. I actually think it's healthy to not share everything. Keep something back for yourself, for sure. But I tend to be a bit more of an oversharer, for sure. Michael says, I enjoy your streams because of your bubbly, kind personality. Thank you. Thank you. Minus 55 is good for creator mix. Yeah, that would be great if I had dB measures that I could work with. So yeah, when I'm using it in background music on my Premiere Pro, absolutely, it's easy. You can just drop in what dBs you want. But yeah. Oh, I'm running a new system. I'm learning how to use a Rodecaster. I've never used one before. And I set it up for mix minus because I was in a chat the other week and I've got a feeling that it's doing that. I'm just going to turn it off. I'll just turn the music off. I'll play with that later, but thank you for letting me know. I really appreciate it. I'm not comfortable with my Rodecaster yet. So it is definitely a learning curve. And you know what? I'm one of these people. I love learning. I don't go, oh my God, I got it wrong. World's exploding. I get crap wrong all the time and I learn from that and I build and I grow. I'm obsessed with learning. I am just ridiculously obsessed with learning. Like I wanted to learn how to help people in Discord better. I moderate over in some Discord chats and I wasn't comfortable with it. So I built a Discord for one of my other communities. And we were having such a fun time over there. I'm like, cool, I learned a thing to help other people and now we're all having fun. So yeah, I'm going to sit down. I've got a course that I've enrolled in that I haven't sat down and watched yet, but I definitely need to do that better. Um, you are doing this for the human, not the algorithm. Behind the lens is a human. Yeah, that's exactly right. You need to connect with people. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I did. I had an ah moment, and my ah moments are like actual, like like they're audible ah moments. Oh, your dad loves the advice so much. That is so good, Luigi. That is good. Um, Creator says, when you stop learning, you stop growing. When you stop growing, others pass you by. I have a slightly different take for the whole learning thing because I agree with this. I definitely agree. Um, but for me and my family, like a little bit of family medical history, there's a little bit of dementia in my family. And one of the things that my grandmother's doctor always said was, those that stop actually physically forcing themselves to learn new things all the time, if you're already precluded to be likely to get it, if you like, well, I'm going to forget everything anyway. What's the point of learning anything new? You'll actually have a higher chance of it happening. So I don't know how true it is. We don't know. There's not enough medical science for it yet. But I'm like, okay, I am not going to help this along. So I consciously sit down. I've actually blocked out time in my calendar every week for learning and study so that I can sit down and I can do a roadcaster course, so I can go and do a communications course, so I can learn about better storytelling, so I can learn new software, I can figure out lighting, all these different things. And sometimes it's got nothing to do with live streaming. I'm literally teaching myself how to knit a different way. So there's like, because with knitting, there's like, it's like live streaming. There's like a million different ways to live stream. There's all these, every country has its own predominant way to knit. So I'm learning how to knit Norwegian. Um, so, it's one of these things. It's, you got to keep learning. You got to keep your brain active. So that's where I'm at with that. I enjoy your stream as you're always so positive and make me positive as you make us part of your stream and part of your community. Plus, I learn as well. That's awesome. See, I look at it as I get to be part of your community. And you guys are building a community because it's you guys that are building the community. Those of you that come back week on week and chat with each other and chat with me in the chat, you're the ones building a community and I get to be part of that. So I look at it, I suppose I look at things a little differently. Predisposed. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for, wasn't it? Absolutely. The more you activate your brain, the better chance you have. Yeah. And I'm so not going to help it along. I'm just not. I'm like, no, definitely not. I like that. I like the practical application for life so others know they're not the only one. And if we as creators can help one person, that pays off. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I love helping. I love helping people. And when I read through forums and stuff where someone's been stuck on a question for days and no one's helping them, and I'm like, oh, I'm not really in this group for this. And they might delete my post because, whatever reasons. And I'll just be like, okay, I can't sit here and see you struggling. They'll be like, can anyone help with this? Like they're bumping it back because no one's responding. If it's something I can help with, or I can at least help them reframe to try and look at alternative, I'll try. I'll try. I'm that annoying person who will be like, have you tried this? Why do you want to do this? I ask questions so their brain kicks in. So yeah. I do sometimes go, you just need to click this and then this and then this and then you're done. Cool, bye-bye. I do that sometimes as well. Someone asked me one time why I created a specific video, and I'm thinking, I don't care if it's 10 out of 10 because it helped someone. Do you know what? I'm real talk. Real talk with Chantelle. I actually don't give a crap about any of that 1 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I don't care. I don't even look at it. One time I got a 1 out of 10. I was like, ooh, yay. And then I'm like, why am I yaying? I don't even care about this. Boom, gone. I think I shared it like, hey, got a 1 out of 10. That's great. I don't care. I don't care about the 1 out of 10 or the 10 out of 10. It's competing with yourself anyway. It's only comparing it to your previous videos. So, and I just don't care about it. I am the worst YouTube helper person out there. Helper person? Yeah, that's me. I'm a helper person. Because I'm like, don't care about that. Also, don't care about that. This doesn't matter. Whatever. Because I have a different perspective. I have different goals. My goals are to help you and to feel confident and comfortable for you to do this. If analytics and stats are stopping you, that's bad. Don't let it stop you. Let them guide you. Let them help you steer around the waters of what content your community want. But also, you could be just needing to make more of the content you want so YouTube can find your people that already like what you want. So, yeah, I'm not gonna be teaching about, how to get a 1 out of 10. That's not gonna happen here. I mean, I say that. I've got a friend who's got a channel and he's like, "I'm never gonna teach a video on how to YouTube. I'm never gonna do that. I like video editing." And one of his he ended up making the video and like years later, and it's now like one of their top performing videos, and now he does some YouTube videos sprinkled in amongst some of his other stuff. But it's just so funny because he's like, "I'm never gonna make that kind of content. That's not gonna be me. That's not gonna be me." Um, but you can say, "I'm never gonna do something." It's like never say never. Yeah, it's only the 10 previous videos. Exactly right. Exactly right. Now, like, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just not interested in it. And I don't want that to be my goal. My goal, like, I tend to look more at my average view duration. There is no one magic analytic that you need to focus on. There is not. There's groups, there's whole sections. YouTube needs all of the data, not just one little tiny bit. It needs it all. So when you become laser focused on one little thing, you're ignoring the rest of it. You need to look at things as a broader approach. You are trying to attract human people to your content. How are you going to do that? So, yeah. I agree. Vanity measures. Yeah. It's like subscriber counts. Now, there are things that tick me off about the subscriber counts. And I have released a short about it, like from a video a while back that I did with Justin Brown. I hate, ready? I've probably said this before. I'm going to say it again anyway. I hate that YouTube links things to subscriber accounts, links access to tools, links access to all sorts of things, and then actually doesn't encourage viewers to subscribe. Like, YouTube doesn't care if people are actually subscribed. They care if they watch and if they interact and if they watch another thing and what their view session is and how many of your videos did they watch before their view session. They care about all of that. They actually don't care if they're subscribed or not. But then they're like, well, you can't be monetized unless you've got 1,000 of these people. We don't actually care if they click a button. If you want access to this other tool, you need 5,000. If you want access to this, you'll need 10,000. And if you want a silver play button, you need 100,000. But they're like, but we're not going to make it so people have to subscribe to get your content like they used to. Like years ago when I first started on YouTube, if people didn't subscribe, they somehow stumbled across you and then they didn't subscribe, good luck them ever finding you again. Unless they knew exactly what your username was. So yeah, it's a soapbox. It's totally a soapbox. Let me go back here. Sometimes giving the button pushes first, then being able to show the person the result is needed for certain things. Easier to explain after they see the results. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. Would you mind touching on a bit about your membership offers on your monetized channel? Sure. Let me just hydrate, and everybody else should hydrate also. So I need to preface this with one thing. I didn't want to start memberships on my other channel. And I had a friend of mine get in my ear. And she was like, you really should have membership. And I'm like, I got Patreon. I don't need a membership. And she was like, what do you get? Like what happens at, when YouTube and Patreon stop being friends? Like, cause at one stage, Patreon could link to YouTube and Patreon members could get a little Patreon P next to their comments in your back end. And I was like, well, that's not going to happen, is it? And she's like, it could. This stuff happens all the time. And I'm like, okay. And I said, I just don't have the time or the energy or the inclination to create whole extra things for people to make it worth them, joining in and paying me. I'm that person that's like, why are people paying me? I don't know. I'm not worth being paid. Like that's where my brain goes. It's not what I do is not worth being paid for. I know it's not right. I don't worry. I do know. I do know. But that's where my brain goes. Like, why would they pay to see that? They're on YouTube. They're here for free stuff. They're not going to pay. They're not going to pay. And she said something that really just hit home for me, which was don't make the decision for your viewer. You don't know what they're thinking. Give them the opportunity to support you. And ever since she said that, I totally go with that with everything now. She was so right. I was making a decision for my entire community. And like, what do I know? What do I know about them and their personal lives? Like, I know some stuff about their yarn crafting habits and things like that, but I don't know what they're willing to pay for and not willing to pay for and things. I don't know. I don't know anyone like that level of well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could not sit down and go, Create a Classroom will never pay a channel membership for anyone ever, because A, I know it's not true, and B, who knows? Someone may have an amazing offering. Now, for me, on my channel, okay, as everybody's sitting down, I offer nothing extra, really. Because I knew, especially at the time when I started channel memberships, I was ridiculously busy. I had my online store where I was shipping stock every day. I was making half of my stock. I was just very, very busy. And I did not have the time or the energy to actually create content or additional content for these people only. I just didn't have it in me. But I also didn't want to make the decision for them. And so what I did is I have 3 tiers of channels, 3 tiers of members, all at 3 different price points. I think they start at about $1.50 going up to about $5 or $6. They all offer the exact same thing. And it lets the audience member decide what the value they want to give. Now, on my little channel of around 5,500, I think, or maybe 6,500. I don't even know. It's under 10. I still haven't hit 10. I have 50 channel members, and the majority of them pay the top tier pricing. So it is, and I still have some people over on the Patreon, and some of them are on both. Because I got one comment from one of the people saying, your top tier doesn't let me give you enough. I'm going to go over here onto Patreon as well. And on Patreon, you can choose a tier and then actually pay more if you want. So that's what she's doing. And I'm just blown away. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I don't have anything extra. She's like, I don't want anything extra. I just want what you're doing. I want you to be able to keep doing it. So, and then you've got the people like Nick Nimmin, who has like a $5 channel membership, and they give so much. So there's all extremes. There's all extremes of what you can put into offer for your channel members. It's going to come down to you. It's going to come down to the time you have available. I am definitely in camp under promise over deliver. I really don't like it when I can't maintain a level that I promised. That really bugs me, and it sets my brain on like a little spiral. So I am an under promiser over deliverer. So yeah, definitely needs. I don't know if that helped you at all. Let me know. Let me know. Make sure when you are learning, you know the why. Yes, absolutely. Wait, what do you unlock at 5K? I don't know if there is anything now. There used to be like 5 years ago, each like there were local events that would only like allow content creators with channels over 5K to attend. Like you and things like that. So it was frustrating for me, but I don't even know if there's anything for 5K now. I know there's still like I can't channel redirect because I don't have 1,000 here. I can't monetize. I can't. I don't have access to the shopping shelf. Shelf is the word I was looking for. My brain was trying to tell me it's tab. It's not tab. It's a shelf. So yeah. So there's still things that I'm limited on both channels. So yeah. I wish you could get the memberships and we can support you. I know we will get to help even more people. Look, you know what? We're nearly there. We're getting so much closer. The regular live streams are really helping me hit the monetization levels. I think we're at about 340 out of the 500 that I need. So we're definitely creeping closer. Like, it's not an overnight process, and I don't expect it to be. So, which is why I do have the buy me a coffee down the bottom. So for those of you that can do, and I really do appreciate it every time, because it look, it's not even about the the $5 or the $4 or whatever it is. It's not even about that. It's about me knowing that what I did made it was of value for you. There was value to it. And that's what boosts me. That's what boosts me. Oh, did you just let me look here? Did you hit me up again? There it is. Amazing yacht destination. Thank you so much for the coffee. I really appreciate that. So yeah, so it is see, now my heart's like, oh, it's not about the monetary, it's about the fact that you find value. And that's what drives me. Are you you're giving me the look? Yeah, I give myself the look because I know that it's really bad negative talk. I really do. I do understand that it's totally untrue, but I have days. I have days. The mysterious answer. Look, do you know what that problem has been floating around for so many years, and it disappears for a while, and then it comes back for a while. I don't know what causes it. I really don't. Um, they pay because there is one of you. They're very interested in what you do. Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. Yeah, under promise and over deliver. Did I say it the wrong way around? I possibly did. I don't know. But yes, under promise, over deliver. That way I can give more when I can, but I don't feel terrible when I can't hit that level that I want to hit. Yeah, the shopping shelf. I think it might be 20K. It might be. I'm not sure. It might be. Oh, I don't even know. I don't even know. Let me see. But you can redirect from your channel that has over 1,000 subs to your other channel when you are doing a premiere or going live. Yeah, so you can redirect. I can still redirect by dropping a link in the chat, things like that, but I can't actually do an automatic redirect. Not yet. I was like, oh, I'm going to do a redirect to Justin Brown's live stream. I checked with Justin, got him to because I know that he doesn't allow redirects on his channel, so he added it in so I could, and we're like, yeah, this will be great. And then I've gone to like, I didn't, the box was grayed out, and I've had to research it. I was like, oh, I don't have 1,000 subs. I actually don't have access to that feature. So that is pooey. I was like, grr, YouTube and the limits to what subscribers can do and then not. Yeah. I went on a little rant. My husband's like, what is going on? And I'm like, could you believe it? And he's just like, okay. Yeah. Others have to give you permission. It depends on what setting they've put on their channel. Some of them, there's limits of if you follow the channel, then some of them have it so nobody can, and then some of them have it so that if they follow your channel, then your channel can redirect to them. It's just and I get why YouTube do it. I really do. I get why YouTube do it. They're trying really hard to stop, like negative stuff happening on YouTube, and I really understand why they do that. But I also find it frustrating, just because I can't do it. That's what it is. It's a selfish thing. I'm selfish. I'm a selfish human. Yeah, I do have about 6K on the other channel. Yeah. But the other channel had nothing to do with live streaming, and I was actually running a live about live streaming that I wanted to send everyone over to Justin's live because he very rarely live streams. So yeah, but yeah, the other channel doesn't have those same restrictions. So yeah, it's a bummer. I was so thankful to hit that 1K so the restrictions could be lifted. Yeah. Why would they limit that? It makes it harder to stay on the platform. Look, I mean, you and I, and probably most people here who are watching this and learning how to YouTube, that this kind of thought bubble of people would probably never consider putting hate on other people's channels or doxing other people or doing being a troll or a spammer or any of that sort of stuff. So we find it really hard to fathom why other people would, because it's just not in our makeup. It's not what we would do. Like I'll write something a bit cheeky. I'll be like, ha ha ha, I'm trolling someone. I know I'm not really trolling them. I'm just being a bit cheeky. And I'll do that sometimes, depending on the streamer and the chat and, the tone and if I'm working or not. But it's so easy to send a large group of people to a channel and they could take over the chat and ruin the experience for the existing audience if they're not the right kind of viewers. Like if there's no connect, if there's a total disconnect between the channels. So you have to think about, like, when you're allowing access to do some of these things, you have to think about the experience of your existing community. So would you allow some random gaming channel to come and deep dive in on your channel when 90% of or 95% of those people have zero interest in your content? So that's why I wouldn't do it. That's why I wouldn't do it. Most creators underestimate their personality at the connection point to the viewer. Each one of us will resonate with our particular viewer. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this is I know why I do things. Okay, so I can't speak for everybody, but I do this for connections. I'm here to discuss and help and create community and build connections with people, because having been a person working in this industry now for like 8 years, it can be really lonely. Like, I'm in my little house by myself. I don't go to the office. There is no office. This is it. Um, and so it can be really isolating and lonely. So creating a community of people who are going through the similar journey as you can actually be really helpful, not just for your creator journey, but also for your own mental health. So again, selfish reasons. I'm not like selfishly wanting subscribers. I want the connections. I need to talk to you guys because you guys know what I'm going through. You know what it's like when it's just like YouTube just does something and you're just like, I can't, like, what can I do about this? Nothing. I can do nothing. Because my channel is so small, there's nothing I can do. I can go and complain to a friend who's got a larger channel. Like, can you fix this on your channel? Like, yeah, that's basically it. But we're all in the same boat. None of us are actually alone. We're just alone in our physical environments, not alone in our workspace environments. It's like if I accidentally do something where Chantelle and Doug are in there, they know I'm all good and say things in jest because I've built that trust. That trust, I underline that with red. You've definitely earned the trust to know that it's just a bit tongue in cheek, a little bit cheeky. And that's the thing. It's supposed to be fun, right? Like you watching a live stream, it's supposed to be a little bit fun. It's a little bit fun. Um, uh, yeah, on Nick's stream, I know we're safe as we've got the amazing Chantelle keeping us safe. Example, last stream, I saw the hammer come down. Yeah. I had to get in there a couple of times quite quickly. I think it was really bizarre. It was because what they were writing in itself was not bad. It was just like take up the whole screen, why don't you? Which is again, is spamming the chat. So like, boom, bye, boom, bye. And it's like, and because Doug and I actually we talk during the live streams, and he'll just be like, you got look, and we're laughing, and then Nick jumped in talking about like ninja skills, and I'm just like, what? So yeah, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with that. So does your 6K channel get more views? Sorry, I've heard channels with between 2 and 5 are struggling. Look, I'm one of these people that I feel that I get the views and the subscribers that I deserve, right? I don't go, oh, my content is so good, I should totally have so many more views. I'm not that person. because if my content was that good, I would have those views. It's that simple. So it's not as good as I think. It's as good as I think. It's not good enough to deserve more than what it gets, right? So I've not noticed that my views are down this month. I do keep an eye on my overall channel views. I keep an eye on my members. I keep an eye on my view durations. I'm not noticing any of that to be down particularly. I am in on that channel. It's a pretty unusual niche. It is predominantly females between 45 and 70. So it's a really unusual niche. They're less wishy-washy. But in saying that, they also are about to come up against a really heavy time, like Christmas and New Year's and families, and the kids are home from school and all this sort of stuff. So, like in Australia, we have an 8-week holiday break now. Like basically, what date are we at now? Probably the end of this week. The kids will be off school now until nearly February. So, they're going to have less time. But in saying that, historically, what happens is my views don't drop, my revenue does. Because after Christmas, so in the meantime now, all of the ad companies are like throwing money left, right, and center to get sort of, advertising for Christmas, get all that up and out there. But then hang on. My daughter is off on a prac day for her vet nursing uni course. Anyway, so yeah, so the views themselves aren't down, but the advertising will go down after Christmas, and that's because that's what advertising companies do. They have massive spends up to this end of final quarter of 2023, and then that first quarter of 2024 is usually pulled back in. While they're working out their plans, they're seeing what they're going to be like focusing on, things like that. So that especially their January, but even up into February, the advertising revenue does drop down, at least on my channel. And I can't speak to every channel, but I noticed it on my channel. And on a couple of the channels that I manage, they have a same issue. The January is always lower. And in saying that, like I hear people like, oh, yeah, that's when you should take a break. Don't take a break in December, take your break in January, blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's not that there's no advertising. So, there's a lot of creators who do take their time off in January. Be the creator out there creating. Be the person making the content. That's my plan. I'm going to have a couple of weeks off to do family things, so I need that particular time. And then I'll go hard in January. And even the end of December, I'll go hard. So, yeah. It's rarely ban hammering there, but sometimes it's crazy. Yeah, it used to be a lot worse. It really did. It used to be more constant, but now it's like little sort of floods, peaks and troughs. That's what I'm looking for. We don't blame the algorithm. We blame ourselves. Yeah, I definitely do. And I know that this isn't the case for everybody. And I don't even know if it's correct. Honestly, I don't know, like, if my content does deserve more. I don't think it does, because as a person who helps other channels and who works with other creators, I know I'm not doing what I'm telling them to do. So why do I deserve more if I'm not even doing the things I should be doing? Like, I know full well, 100% well, live streaming alone does not build an audience. Live streaming builds a community. VOD content builds an audience. Okay. So it's in my experience, VOD content or long form content, it builds the audience. It creates the traffic. It gets people there. And those videos are what increases the subscriber count. Now, your audience does not equal your community. In my thinking, they're two different things. So you can build your audience and you can build your community both at the same time, but they're building two different things. Okay. So if you want to gain subscribers, you need to focus on building the audience. Is that what I'm doing? It's really not, is it? Like, if you have a look at my channel, that's not what I'm doing. I'm building on the community. Now, community building is definitely slower if you're also not building the audience at the same time. So if you build both at the same time, they both grow better. But if you focus on one more than the other, the balance will be off. So You just have to, but for me, like I'm a community junkie, so I always focus on the community first. It's not right. It's totally like, it does make difference, but it's what I prefer and that's what I'm here for. And when I need a boost and I need a lift and I need the community. So that's what I need. Yeah. Women 45 to 70 are super busy. They really are. There's a lot on their plate. Yeah, fully expect revenue to drop in January. Yeah. Views and subscribers are earned via the value provided in the content presented on the particular channel and niche. That is true. That is a fact. And if you do not provide the value, they will not subscribe. They will not come back. You need to, as Doug says, value first. You can't expect the growth without the value. You just can't. And anybody expecting their channel to just take off because they uploaded 2 videos, I always look at that and go, why do you think that's going to take off? What have you got there for people to watch? What have like like your video is good, right? Like, don't get me wrong, it's a good video, but why do you think that one video is going to skyrocket everything? You need to prove you're going to keep coming back. You need to prove you're reliable. Um, there's a flying thing. I don't like flying things. So yeah. Let's have a look here. I take my filming and editing break 2 weeks in December, but my content will be consistent. See, this is amazing. This is awesome. And this is the goal. And I think this should be the goal for everybody. Now, when you're a live streaming only channel, it's harder. So if you're like a gaming channel where all of your content is live streaming or whatever you're producing is all live, this is a bit trickier. But if you have content that's VOD or you have content you can drop over these breaks when you need time, having something in the can, having something ready to drop is so amazing. Justin Brown talks about being on the hamster wheel of YouTube and he's 100% right. It's so easy to get caught up in create the content, drop it on the channel, start the next one, create the content, drop it. And you get stuck in this just like constant thing. Whereas if you make like 5 or 6 videos or even four videos, if I'm not like some people like, I want to drop 10 videos a week. I'm not that person. I'm like 1 video a week. That's plenty. 1 video a week where people watch my face for 10 minutes a week or 1 hour or whatever it is that we're doing here for these live streams. But for the VODs, that's plenty enough time. How much content is there on YouTube? They don't need to spend all their time with me. There's so many amazing people out there they can watch. I watch hundreds of videos, different creators. So having that content made and ready, and then having even recording in batches or whatever it is that you want to do, having a few ready at all times, always having more available. So if you want to have a holiday, your content can be consistent. If an emergency situation happens that you are not expecting, you've got content ready to go for a set amount of time. Now you may get to a point where you run out. That happens. You know what? That was an emergency situation. Guess what comes first? Life before YouTube. That's my number 1 rule. Life before YouTube. So if I need to do anything except for take my husband to the hospital, I was like, you can wait till after my live stream, right? It's like, no. Anyway, long story short, he's fine. Yeah, that I felt a bit bad about that because I was like, dude, you've just got something in your eye. No, it turned out to be worse, and we had to, yeah. Anyway, but if you've got a family holiday, I'm not going to say, like, if my husband's like, let's go on a family holiday, I'm like, no, I need to YouTube. No, I'm going to go on a family holiday. Like you need to think about more. Let me look here. Community is better than views and subscribers. That's me. I need that on a shirt. I know not everybody agrees. And you know what? If your goal is like, it's so bizarre. All right. This is how I run things. This is how I prefer things to be. This is not how everybody thinks. It's not. And it's not how everybody teaches. And I've got things that I see other creators do that really just tick me off. And I'm sure things I say and do, they disagree with as well. It depends on what your focus is. It depends on what your goals are. My goals are community. So I do things differently based on that. You might be building slower, but you have more loyal viewers. Yeah, I look, I love that. I love that. And one of the reasons why I love it is I use my Fiberific channel as an example. I've got people who have been watching that channel now for 8 years. They were there when I started. They're still there. They still comment. They still come to the live streams. They still, and when COVID hit, I set something up over there so that those ladies could all talk to each other because some of them were at home by themselves because the community mattered. Okay. And that's not the case for every creator. The community matters. The community matters. If someone's channel is about boating, they will look different. Yeah. Yeah. And that is, you know what? That's probably not a fake niche. It's probably not fake at all. There's probably content on YouTube for that. Who knows? I'm not going to check. You can check. I'm not going to check. But yes, everyone's channel is going to look different and their audience is going to look different and their goals are going to be different because we're all individual people that have different things that drive us. So, yeah. Honestly, before I became a creator, I never subscribed to anyone. I just looked them up when I had time to see what they're up to. I have these discussions with my husband and he's learning. It's quite funny. Every now and again, he'll be like, did you see this video? Because I have my YouTube account connected to our smart TV. Some of the content I watch comes up and he'll just watch it because it's interesting. And he'll be like, did you watch this one yet? And I'm like, yeah, it was good. He's like, is this true? And I'm like, yeah, it's totally true. He's like, I don't subscribe to anyone. I'm like, you need to subscribe to my channel, man. It's like, I don't watch yarn crafting. I'm like, well, then don't subscribe. I don't want those kind of subscribers. But yeah, if you have content that you're enjoying and that you want to keep seeing, go and subscribe to their channel. Subscribing is free. It doesn't cost you anything. And your feed is also not inundated if they're a prolific uploader. It's one of those things where YouTube will still stop you from seeing every single thing, but you've got a better chance of it coming up. I have 3 videos scheduled for January already, and Monday, Tuesday, I'll be doing the other 2. That is awesome. That's so good. I'm going to be spending the rest of this week making some content and editing some stuff I've already made so that I can start, getting it ready. Because, all right, my goal, ready? I have a goal, is a live stream a week plus something else. And I've been using a lot of Opus clips to help me hit my goal. And I feel like that's like a fake. It's like faking it out. So I want to still use Opus clips because I love it. I think it's great. But I want to add in some more VOD and kind of alternate them. So yeah, I would like to have 8 pieces of content on this channel each month. And that includes live streams, VODs, and shorts. So that's what I was like. That's what I would like to do. Yeah, that's a serious contrast. I agree. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to be in your brain right now. Just saying. Yeah, you didn't know the importance of subs or watching ads or liking. And this is the thing. Do you know what you can do? And I did this with the Fiberific community. Leanne's here. She knows. I have educated a completely non-YouTube channel, like as in it's yarn crafting. We knit and we crochet and we spin. These amazing viewers understand so much about YouTube. They understand the importance of changing from top chat to live chat, and they remind each other in the chat to do it. They understand that, I'll get a comment, just watching an ad, I'll be in a second. So if the ad is interesting to them, they'll watch it. They also know not to click on the ads unless they're genuinely interested. Like there's all of this stuff, okay? There's educating your community to some of the things that you need as a creator. So if you need comments, if you're the person who needs to read the words, you need to teach your community that you need to read those words. They need to know, because they could be sitting there passively enjoying it, thinking that was great, watching all the way to the end, clicking the next video, whatever. But if your thing that fills your cup is a comment and you get none, you're going to feel like it was not a success. Now, this person watching it watched all the way from the start to the end, clicked into the next piece of content and watched that all the way through. That is a total win for YouTube. But that may not be what you need to be a win. So if you train your audience, if you talk to them, if you explain how things work in a way where they feel like, oh, I can do that. That's not hard. I can totally do that. I can click like. I know I'm going to like it. I'm here. I was here last week. I love these 2-hour streams. I wish you'd do 3-hour streams. Like, it's not, it's, they need to, you need to explain it to them because YouTube doesn't. YouTube does not tell them at all. Oh, bye, Michael. I don't know how long ago you ran away, but bye. Oh, Leanne, I didn't set my alarm. Not that you need me here. Your followers are well behaved. Yeah, it's not the regular viewers that you worry about. It's the sneaky sneakers that pop in and just be like, ha ha ha, let's let terror reign supreme. By live stream consultants, have an awesome night. Have an awesome night. We have the same issues. I don't always agree with other lawyers. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was never going to happen, Creator Classroom. But it fills up your email with notifications. I had to create a YouTube only email. Well, I mean, you can go in and turn off the YouTube. You can choose not email notifications. You can choose push notifications. But if you choose push notifications, you need to make sure you're logged into the YouTube app and that you have enabled push notifications in the app as well. So you don't have to get email notifications. I don't. I'm subscribed to a ton of channels and I don't get email notifications. It's not a fake out. It feels like a fake out sometimes. I'm glad I wasn't live. I would have legit said it and then lost it. Yeah. I've got somebody in my Fiverific chats who has been there for a really long time and he will just say these things just to try to get me to say them. And sometimes he gets me and it's just like, oh man, like then nothing like bad, but it's normally like, a double entendre. And you've got like, it's like, oh, I wish I'd have read that properly. So I train myself to actually read my comments before I share them, usually. Leanne says we really do and enjoy learning. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you guys enjoy the learning as well. We have to let our audience know what makes us feel as good as a creator. Yeah, we do. They're not mind readers. They're not. They may have ideas of what helps you on YouTube. You need to explain what actually helps you as a human, not just what helps you with YouTube. Okay, because what's classed as a win on YouTube may not be what you need. Like, I love comments. I think comments are fantastic. I love reading that I've helped somebody, that something I did was helpful, or I mean, I don't love the not nice comments. I get a couple of those. I really don't like the comments when people comment on my appearance. Like, dude, I have a mirror. Like, I know. Sorry that my facts and help were, diminished by the physicality. Whoops. It's not going to change anytime soon. So, sorry. Yeah. Oh, I have not. You are right. I have not asked you to like the stream. But you know what? Yous did. So, if you are watching on the replay and you've gotten this far, I think you might be enjoying your time here. So please make the like button sparkle. We have a unique audience as our audience creates content. We do, yeah, and this is a different thing because we do have when you're educating on YouTube, you need to understand what makes YouTube tick, and you also need to understand that what makes one person happy will not necessarily make that person happy. So 100,000 views for this person may mean, oh my God, that is the best thing ever. 100,000 views for this person might be like, whatever. Cool. So different people have got different goals, and sometimes having our goals analyzed and a little reality check is sometimes also good. because sometimes this person going like 100,000 views, whatever, I need 1 million views. And it's just like, dude, you need to be grateful for the 100,000 because that was not great. So yeah, I hate the physical appearance comments. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and he actually said that he really feels for female creators because there is this expectation that we'll be in different clothes all the time, that we're going to have full makeup on, have our hair done, always be like dressed to the nines, right? Like I can't wear makeup. Like, look, I tried a new moisturizer. Look what happened. My skin hates me. Like, I'm allergic to half of the world. So, I very like I have some makeup I can wear. I need to save that for special occasions because I can't do it every day. So, it's one of these things. It's like, what is important? So I'm not here to build the audience that needs the pretty face to be able to learn. That's going to be someone else. You're going to need to find another creator for that because that's not going to be what you get here. Like I will try to be tidy and I will be presentable, but mostly some days it's like wild man from Borneo hair. It happens. Sorry, human. My hair has got a life of its own. But I'll be clean and I'll brush my teeth and I will have had a shower and I try to make it like if you're actually sitting there you could bear it. Like that's my goal. It's like, okay, if you're actually sitting in the same room, could you cope? Right? That's the goal. Yeah, you know what? Especially now with everything being changed around, you need to be like, okay, there's that one line of text, you need to click the more because then that shows you the whole description. Or finding the live chat. That's another one. Saunas are great for skin. I basically live in a sauna. I live in Queensland. It is subtropical. It does not like it. Yeah, you know what? And this is the thing. If you are here for the message, then you probably get the message. Yep. Travel around Susie says I don't wear makeup, no special clothes. It's just me or find another person. Yeah. Yep. And look, you ready, girls? Like the guys not so much, but the girls be ready for this. Unfortunately, some people will just go and find another creator. You may have the perfect answer. You may have the solve. But because they can't get past their own shallow views of being able to take direction from somebody who they do not consider aesthetically pleasing, then they will miss out on that. And we just need to accept that and move on. That's a them problem. That's not a you problem. Now, if there's something that you're doing, like, if your shirt's covered in fluff or, like something distracting, like for me, fluff is very distracting. I'm sorry. If you've got fluff on your shoulder, I'm going to watch the shoulder fluff move the whole stream. It's a personal thing. As a spinner, I'm always like, oh, what kind of fluff is that? What is in there? Is that Angora? Is that just sheep? Like what sort of fluff is it? So, I have a different perspective. I don't dress up. I have baby hairs that stick out and I make weird faces. I know this. I don't need you to share that. Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Did you need to write that in there? Because there's a whole video of it, like right here, of me doing exactly what you're talking about there. Like, thanks. Thanks for that. That's cool. I think I've got a comment at the moment on one of my shorts telling me I need to go for a walk. And I'm just sort of like, cool. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, excellent. Good. I haven't replied to it. I'm just like, I don't even know what to say. And I've left it there. You know what? I've left it there. I could probably remove it. But it actually reminds me that there are people out there that can't watch content unless it's aesthetically pleasing. And they can't learn from somebody who is not in their mind, YouTuber. So yeah, it's definitely a thing. I've had some really interesting comments over on the Fiberific channel. I've had to learn to get fairly thick skin. Sometimes I get miffy. It depends on my mood. But I've recently had a little epiphany about negative comments. So, but somebody was just like they were picking on my Australian accent, and I'm just like, I can't change my accent any more than you can change yours. Like, I think your accent is weird, probably, maybe. I don't know. I can't hear them. They're just commenting. Um, but it's definitely it's stuff that happens. I had excuse me, I used to dye yarn. So sometimes I have glove failures and my fingers would have like dye stuck around them and I'd be scrubbing them and scrubbing like you scrub them with toothpaste and it's still not coming out. I get them as clean as I could. Then I'd do a tutorial. So, I'm a nail biter. I'm a nervous person who bites their nails. I don't have the prettiest hands. And I literally had someone comment, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I couldn't learn that technique that you were learning, that you were teaching, because I just found your nails hideous." And I'm just like, okay, because the other 20,000 people had no problem. So I'm sorry that you can't see past something to learn something. Anyway, um, I once had someone comment that they couldn't take me seriously because I'm a woman. Wow. Okay. I mean, that's true also. Some dudes don't like to learn from girls. Like, that's legit. And some women feel that they need to learn from men. I know of a particular man that it doesn't matter how many times I say something until a man says that you should do this way, then it's not going to get done that way. Like, that's a real life person I know. So, yeah. As a man, I hate being on camera as I'm going bald. So I totally get the appearance thing. Yeah, because we all have our own thing we don't like about ourselves. Like anyone like still here in the chat. Sorry, we did digress off consistency, but this is still an important topic. Anyone here in the chat who doesn't have at least one thing they don't like about their physicality? Like, let me know in the chat. Like, do you have one thing you don't like? I mean, I've got 50, but do you have one thing you don't like about your physicality? Because one person commenting on it just amplifies the problem for you. It just like, oh, they see it too. It's got to be bad. It's got to be terrible. So we've got to, like, we as creators need to get past that as well. And it's like, it's easier to say, oh, get thick skin. I don't want thick skin. I want soft skin and have a soft heart and not be jaded. I want to be able to help people and empathize. And I don't want to have such thick skin that nothing affects me. I don't want to be that person. That's not my goal in life. And as I said, I have different goals than different people. I don't want thick skin, but I watched this great thing this week. And it was so true. And it was something I'd learned a few years ago, but it was a really great reminder for me, which was when somebody has something negative to say, you don't have to accept that gift of negativity. You can go, no, thanks, not interested. Cool. You can just keep that. I'm not taking it. I'm not going to accept your negative gift. And I realized I do decline things. I'm like, oh, no, thanks. I'm good. Thanks. No worries. Thanks. Like when you're at the shops and they're trying to give you the brochures for stuff. I'm like, no, I'm good. Thanks. I know how to do that. I can be, no, thanks. I don't need your comment on my, the fact that I am, nearing 50 and have gray hair, like whatever. No, thanks. Like, I don't need your comment on my size, weight, or physicality, or the fact that, my skin does whatever the frick it wants whenever it wants to. I'm cool. Thanks. No, cool. So, yeah, it's one of those things. Let me look. We did a study in uni. Well-dressed, tidy people are treated better in shops. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I get treated like crap in stores. I'll go shopping in a store, like a skinny chick store, admittedly, for something for my daughter. And I will literally have salespeople come up and very quietly go, oh, we don't have anything for you in this store. I'm like, really? Because I've got a credit card and you're selling clothes that my daughter wants. So, okay, bye. And I'll leave. So, yeah, I find the whole thing very frustrating. I do. I find my entire life as a plus size woman exceptionally frustrating. So, yeah, it is definitely not my favorite. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? They took the time to comment, so they're going to get hit with more of your content. Unfortunately, if they don't watch it, then YouTube is like, oh, wait a second. I love my grey hair, but others don't. I hate my little baby hair sticking out. Look, you know what? I don't like I don't like my grey hair. I've been going grey since I was 15. So I go to the hairdresser and I deal with it. But I can't afford to go to the hairdresser every 15 minutes. So I have times like right now, which, like, there we go. I'll just tilt down a little. I have times where it's grayer or where you can see grey. So it's like, whatever, it's my hair. Cool. Can't do anything about it right now. I will do Thursday, but not today. Oh, yeah. People who insult says more about them than you. 100%. Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel sad that we tend to focus on the negative comments amongst all the positive ones, which are generally so much larger. Leanne, this is so true. As humans, we focus on the one negative. We can't help it. You see 50 amazing, beautiful comments, but then one person says something mean, then you focus on the mean thing. You can't help it. Your brain latches onto it because you need to fix the problem. So, but yes. Andrew's jumped in late to the stream. We've changed. It does matter. What do you mean my grey hair matters? No, it does matter. You're right. We were talking about the two different kinds of consistency earlier. The consistency of regular as well as the consistency of messaging. So, and you're right. They do matter. Both of them. Consistency matters every time. It's great to see you, Andrew, by the way. I'll just quickly have a drink. Is it weird now that whenever I see Andrew's name, I have to have a drink? It's like my brain goes, hydrate, quick before he says something, hydrate. Dear Andrew, we've digressed a little in our conversation here, and we are now talking a little bit about the negative comments that people put on YouTube about your physicality. They don't have anything to do with the content, but it has more to do with what you look like delivering the content. So one of the ladies in here said that she actually had a dude say, "I can't learn from you because you're a woman." So and then we've got one of our gentlemen in here saying it was amazing yacht destinations. He's nervous because he's starting to go bald, which is all these things are parts of life. A, you're a female, sorry, born that way, can't do anything about it. B, going bald, it's not like you're in there shaving it, going ha ha ha, I want a round circle. No, it's life. Our bodies change as we age. It's just what happens. So yeah, it does. It reminds us all to drink water. Yeah, I did. I digressed a little. It's like welcome to Chantelle Streams. We start out on our topic. We have that for a good long time. And then we digress. We fall into other areas where we answer the questions. I saw a reel the other day where a vase was being filled with positive comments, and then a vase was and then one vase, a negative comment. The creator picked up the vase of the negative comment. It's kind of what it is, isn't it? It's kind of what it is. It's really easy to get lost in the negative comment. It's so easy. And it's elite. I mean, for me anyway, but I'm trying very hard to say, no, thank you. I'm cool. I don't need it. So yeah. How do you respond to comments that are far left, as in nothing about you or your channel? Is it bad for you to leave it and don't respond? All right. Again, I may have a slightly different view than some people in this particular thing. If a comment is in no way related to your content, it doesn't deserve to be there. This is not a place for people to grandstand on your corner of the internet. If the comment has nothing to do with your content, remove it. Unless it's unless it's a topic that you have broached or discussed or talked about, or you're willing to talk about, remove it. It doesn't need to stay there. The thing when it comes to thoughts of you, a quote that helps me is, you can be the sweetest peach in the tree, but there will always be people that don't like peaches. I like that. Thankfully, the knitting is more consistent on the Wednesday. What do you mean? We talk about anything and everything over there. There's always craft. There's always me making something. This week we made Christmas decorations. We're always making something, but we talk about everything. Yeah. Meaning, even if you're the best at what you do, someone will always have thoughts about you. Yes. Live stream education, but I digress. Yes, definitely. If you do not digress, you won't progress. That's how ideas have developed. Oh, I love that. Oh, that is cool. If you do not digress, you won't progress. And that's how great ideas developed. Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that a lot. I just figure like I keep talking about the same thing, right? I could. It could get boring. It could get repetitive. So why not join into the conversation in the chat? Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I will be. I'll be grabbing a screenshot later on for sure. And save it. Do you have a file somewhere on your computer or in a jar or whatever of the comments that people have made about your content or about your business or whatever that made you feel good? I, quite a few years ago, was given the piece of advice by a good friend of mine that really helped me. And I've a couple of them pinned to my wall, but I do keep a folder of the really beautiful things that people say, because it is in this world of negativity and the need to be shocking, and it's so easy to become blasé to the beautiful because it's not shocking and it's not contrasting, it's not in your face, it sits and it is. So making sure that we take those moments and we look at them and we appreciate them for what they are. And they can also help when you are in a bad spot, when your brain is being mean. My brain is mean. When my brain is being mean, sometimes I need to sit down and have a little read through the comments to remind myself why I'm here. To remind myself that I'm not here because of me. I'm here because I want to help you. I'm here to help you. And if I let negativity or whatever's going on in my life or whatever stop me from doing that, I'll feel even worse. So sometimes these comments and the things that I can screenshot and that I save, I don't live in the files. I also don't want to get like a massive ego. That might be an Australian thing. We have this thing called tall poppy syndrome, where if somebody gets too big for their britches, then it's your job to go and knock them over. So I don't want to do that either. I just want to be able to continue moving and continue focusing. So sometimes I need to make I have a folder of comments that I've screenshotted that every now and again I just have a little read of, just to remind myself that I'm helping, that I'm actually helping. And that if I hadn't have made that content, that person wouldn't have been helped. So yeah, definitely. It's a Karenism. I wish I did, but remember the very special ones. I would make it a physical thing. I would make it something that you can go to, because when I am, I don't want to generalize, but when I'm in these places where I feel horrid, I need to physically read it because my brain won't let me remember. My brain's too busy focusing on this negative, like this, like I stopped live streaming on this channel for a while, like you guys know that. And it was because I had some negative stuff happen. I had a lot of knockbacks, people who said they would join and then never turned up. And I decided not to stream that day because, whatever reasons. I let it stop me. I did. I let it stop me, and it slowed down everything on this channel because I let it stop me. It was me allowing it to happen. I'm not going to let it stop me. And I have to keep reminding myself every week, every time. I don't want to let it stop me. So, yeah. Andrew showed up. He did show up. We had a great chat. Absolutely, he did. And I love that chat. I go back. I'm actually about to send yours through Opus Clips, honestly. I'm going back into the old chats and running them through Opus Clips and grabbing some really great nuggets, because there was so much amazing conversation. And we laughed a lot in yours, Andrew, if I recall correctly. There was a lot of laughing. There was shenanigans in the chat. Justin Brown was in there, and Justin comes in and he kicks up shenanigans. That's what he does. You need to make a board of that. Yes, you do. Yes. Yes, you need to hang on to the positive comments. You really do. Um, and like it's all good and well and easy for me to go, oh, I'm not going to accept the negative comments. Sometimes our brain is just like, what? Yes. Ha ha ha. Of course. You do have hideous hands. Or you know what? Yes, your accent is annoying. Ha ha ha. Um, so, these things happen. Do you have any final questions for me for today's live stream? We have gone longer than you. I'm thinking, why have my throat a bit sore? It's because we've gone a lot longer than we usually do. So I would love to answer any other questions that you have or share any other points that you want to make. So, pop them in the chat if that's what you want to do. I'm going to have a sip of water. It is the final countdown. Do, 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 do. We make it sound so bad so we don't get a copyright strike. Do, 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 do. It is the final countdown. Okay. When you make it sound so terrible and bad, you probably could still get copyright struck for it, It's more hoping that YouTube can't work out that's what you're doing. So just as a reminder, no stream next week or the week after. The week after is actually Christmas Day here for me. But then there'll be one after that. And I do hope to have some additional content out. There'll be at least some shorts. But this will be the last stream until the last week of December. Let me just check the calendar. Calendar. Am I the only person? Like, let me know in the chat. I always hit calculator when I want calendar and always hit calendar when I want the calculator. Because, like, just happened again. Every time. I can't help it. I've tried moving them to separate spots of the phone. Makes no difference. Monday after Christmas. Yes. Monday after Christmas is New Year's Day. It's a public holiday here. We'll see how I'm feeling. So, yeah. Oh, you do that too? Oh, good. Glad it's not just me. Thank you, Susie. I hope you all have a wonderful time, either just enjoying the weather, enjoying something different, doing something a bit outside the box, or spending time with your family if you're able to. And I'll jump in. I'll be in other chats. I'll be around. I'll be in the Discords. I'll be in Andrew's Discord, over in Doug's, over in Nick's, Facebook groups, all the places. I'll still be doing all that. Maybe a little less, but I'll still be there. And I hope you all have a fantastic season of family time, and I will catch you all next time. Bye now.